Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel and UK property market. What is happening and what is the update? Great question. So please subscribe, share and make your comments on my YouTube channel, especially if you've got questions about the market, property, how to invest, etc. And I will do my best to answer those questions and to do a video about them. So what's going on? Really interesting. This last weekend that has just passed, there was a report out online and in the newspaper saying that the UK property market increased by 6.2% over the last 12 months to date. That's an interesting rise. Now, when I see these statistics, I'm always looking and say, well, hang on a second, our area hasn't gone up that much, or sometimes it might have gone up more. This is an average, so they're taking into London prices as well as Sunderland and Durham, etc. So it is generalized. In some places they've done ever so well, and let's take Virginia Water over Surrey. I mean, one of the highest places to go and live. You know, you're talking millions of pounds for one house. But why has it gone up, and what is going on to sustain that? Because we really haven't seen this drop yet, and I'm experiencing it as well as my mentees that I work with and other people that are in property, friends of mine, are all saying the same thing, that when we are going to the agents are saying, look, we really got limited stock, and the stock that we have, the owners want more than the property's worth. We are seeing a number of properties where people now are starting to work from home. That's how I would say COVID has changed the landscape of property buying now. That it's not just your home, it's now going to be your workplace. And that's something which is unprecedented. The way that we buy houses has changed. There's many people who have bought houses not without seeing them, and you know, a lot of people have bought properties without seeing the property, but that's an absolute no-no. But many people have bought properties with having a virtual viewing. That means basically people go around with their phone, with a mobile phone, and they show exactly the place, and on that premise they've said we'll buy it. But yes, there's going to be a survey, so if anything untoward flags up, it comes to the survey. If you are doing that, I would highly recommend that you go for a structural survey, so you get a higher level of report back, all right? Because the last thing you want to do is to get in there and find that there are things going wrong with the house. I myself, it's the second time that I've done it, is I bought a car without seeing it. Okay, it's a Mercedes. I always buy from Mercedes dealership, but it was a specific model, and they only had it in Cheshire, which is 120 odd miles away from me. So I viewed it again virtually. They did a video of it. I saw everything, the pictures online. I knew all the spec, and I paid for it over the phone and everything, sorted it all out that way, and then it was driven over and delivered to me. So things are changing in the way that we do things. The other thing which seems to be very, very common is the buy, refurb, refinance model has stalled a bit, I would really say, for a lot of people. Having said that, I've just offered an option on a probate property. Probate is where someone has died and the beneficiary is trying to sell it. I've made an offer. I haven't had the agent come back because it's had to go to all of the beneficiaries for them to say, we want Trevor to come in and expense the refurb of my own money, uplift the value, we sell it quicker because it's in really good nick, and then the beneficiaries get their asking price, I get my money back, and whatever is left we share. And we're going to have that conversation about what the split is, and making sure that both parties are happy. So, but there's not that many opportunities coming up now, but it just is, it seems to be, and again reports from the agents is that in this time where more people are at home, they're tending to do the home improvements themselves or with friends and family. And this is taking away from opportunities for the property investors to jump in and do those normal refurbs. Having said that, there's always opportunity. As I'm doing, I've been out today looking at a few sites, but one of them in particular, and it looks like we're putting an offer in, but the end value is over £10 million in Cambridge. There's other sites as well that we're looking at. We've looked at another one which its end value is £22 million, and we're debating whether we should be speaking to some of our interested investors about this particular thing. This weekend, I'm spending most of the weekend working out those numbers to see, look, is it something that we need to sit down with our investors and say, here we go, this is something which, in our opinion, is really, really excellent. So these are the sort of things that you can do. Now, I'm not suggesting you just go out and look for crazy deals, but if you are looking and you're struggling to find stuff, my best advice is look to change what you're doing. So don't just look for the typical buy, refurb, refinance. You might not find it, and what tends to be happening when you do find it, there's either loads of people and then they're going to pay too much for it, and it's either that or the owner wants too much because they see the potential it's got and they start squeezing that profit down because they want more money now, and that leaves you less money. And that is happening a lot. As I go around and I talk to agents and I look at the deal and I speak to the agent, I deconstruct what they're asking me. I always say, what would it be worth all done up? They say it's going to be this value. So I say, well, if I buy it here and I paid the 3% surcharge stamp duty and I've got legals and I've got my, I spend this, whatever, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds in the refurb, it's now worth more than you said it would be worth at its end value. So they agree with that and they see, but unfortunately, new people coming into property investment, they don't get it. They really don't, and they will spend too much. I'm really happy one of my mentees this week found a property with a short lease. The owners, again, a deceased estate. The beneficiaries did not want to serve the Section 42 notice, which gives a statutory 90 years extension to the freeholder, because they just didn't want to do it, because they feel like they're responsible and they will have to pay. So I had a chat direct with the agent and said, look, since I believe it was the Leasehold Act addition to the Leasehold Act 2015, I believe it was amendment in 2015, what they said, and if you've got a short lease and you want to extend the lease, the previous owner has to serve this Section 42 notice to extend the lease to the freeholder. If they don't and you buy it, you cannot extend the lease for 2 years. So it means that if you buy it on a bridge or you buy it cash, you won't be able to refinance out if it's a low lease. This one is below 60 years left on the lease. So it's really, really important. So I had a chat with the agent and I said, look, would they be up for serving Section 42 notice if my client agrees to pay all of the legals and the survey or the freeholder's costs, but the notice will be served at exchange of contracts. So they went back, they explained everything to the vendor, and the vendor came back yesterday and said yes, they're happy to do that. So again, it's just about constructing it. So that's another deal that he's got. He's really happy. That will be where he's buying it and the lease extension cost. He will be able, the value of the property, he will be able to refinance out and I think have zero money in that deal when he does it. Now, I need to get his permission to go through it, but as we go through it, we might make some videos and I'll put it on here if he gives me that permission, and maybe even show you the place once it's done. So listen, guys, I hope that gives you a little bit of an update. What's happening? I think we are still going to see a lot of people get into trouble, especially with furlough, and they will start to dump properties quite fast. So one of the things is to position yourself. Second is look to create more things, whether short leases, whether adding value in the way that you'll convert things from one house to 2 or 3 apartments, or even build on the land. If you would like to get some training, then please let me know, because we've got several training. Leslie's just about to do rent to HMO stuff, and I've got a webinar coming up. And please don't forget, Sunday 9 o'clock on the 21st of March, I'm going to be on Channel 5 on Rich House, Poor House. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Bye bye.